Hey guys, Rich Nance with Wartac CQC. I've been a police officer for 22 years, and when I first started, I was issued a cassette recorder that I wore on my duty belt in a basket weave case, and I was expected to activate that anytime I was involved in a situation where having an audio recording may come in handy. And that could be for evidentiary value or maybe to dispel some false accusation that I think might have been made against me. Nowadays, gone are the cassette recorders, fortunately, because they took up so much room on our belt. But we have in-car dash cams, we have a taser cam, and we also have a lapel mounted camera. So we are essentially recording ourselves at all times when we're on duty, sometimes with multiple platforms. And that's not even considering how many people are filming us with their cell phones. Is our contact captured on a CCTV camera system? So it has changed policing in many ways, and some for the good and some not so good. I think it makes officers considerably more hesitant to use force because they're second guessing. They're wondering, is this gonna look bad on the 11 o'clock news, as opposed to just considering, is this an appropriate response to the resistance that I'm overcoming? So I don't think there's any end in sight. Technology has changed policing, and I think that the public expects transparency, and they expect to be able to see uses of force, which again is scary for officers because private citizens aren't typically educated enough to decide whether or not a use of force is lawful. And of course, even if it is lawful, oftentimes it doesn't look good. But ultimately, I think that technology is a good thing when it comes to police use of force because it can provide factual information. What it can't provide is what the officer was experiencing, what he was feeling at the time that he used the force, and that's very relevant. Some shortcomings to this technology are that I could see something. In other words, my body is oriented at the camera, yet I notice a threat over there. My body-worn camera is looking straight ahead. There are some other, which I consider gimmicky type devices as far as glasses that you have the camera on them as opposed to the lapel. Those are likely to get knocked off, or you're not going to have them on when you need them. There's always going to be situations where technology fails us, right? Where something is not captured because, quite frankly, we can't have that on 24/7 because of storage capacity and also because of battery life. So sometimes you're going to turn it off. The question will always be in court, and I speak from experience. Well, why was your camera turned off at that time? Were you beating my client during that time that the camera was off? So sometimes you can't win for losing. There's even more technology now where you can actually mount a camera on the end of your pistol. Kind of the cool thing about that is it will show what the assailant is doing prior to you using deadly force or not using deadly force. Whereas if you consider a lapel-mounted camera, once you're punched out, you're filming essentially the back of the gun and your hands. The same, even more so, if you're using a shoulder weapon. So technology is here to stay, and I think that it's generally a good thing.